I don't know. Wrong expressions. All right, if you guys are new to the podcast, this is something that I've been doing as of late, which is talking about people using expressions incorrectly, or my favorite, combining expressions. All right. Hi, Bill. Heard this one the other day. They took their foot off the boil. What does that mean? I don't even... Took their foot off the gas. Anyway, the person says, I believe this beauty is the son of the expression, they took their foot off the gas and go off the boil. Thought you'd appreciate this one. Thanks. Wait a minute. I never heard of the go off the boil. That sounds European to me. Hang on a second. What is Lipitor? We have to get rid of this. Okay. To go off the boil. Meaning. All right. British, informal. Into a state that is less good than before. After 2 hit singles, the band went off the boil and eventually disbanded. All right, origin. Origin. It's a weird word, origin. Origin. To lose interest or become less urgent. They were really excited about the project, but now they seem to go off the boil. Oh, the pot was boiling? Is that what it is? Oh, who the fuck is that? I found this on the web. All of a sudden, it just started talking. Like, let's stop fucking listening to me. Get a life. Originally, an expression of the kitchen. If you have to boil some substance in hot water for a long time, the fire goes out. Wait a minute. This is interesting. We're talking, this is before you had gas in the thing here. When the bubble, wait, is it? Origin, etymology? How the fuck do you say that word? And I'm trying to work my way around this. Accept all cookies, necessary cookies only. Like, how do I even know what cookies you're using? I don't give a fuck. When the bubbles stop coming up, a previously boiling liquid is said to have gone off the boil. This happens after heating is stopped, but not immediately. There is always a delay caused by thermal hysteresis. It doesn't only mean past the crisis. It is frequently used to mean something is not performing as well as it did. All right. Okay, so you could say something's off the boil, meaning, you know, how are you and your wife doing? Better, man. We're off the boil. I guess you could do it like that. Or off the boil as far as like a band where you were a hot band churning out hit singles and all of a sudden you cooled off with a couple of stinkers, and then you're off the boil. I took my foot off the boil. Yeah, okay, I get it now. You brought me into your English world. Yes, that is a bastardized version of it. We just don't say that around here. I'm going to start doing it just to see if my wife picks up on it. At some point, I'm going to have her on this podcast to talk about. We took a mushroom trip together, and it was like her first time, like, really tripping or whatever, so it was it was really fun to watch and sort of experience all that. I got to have her on the podcast. It was definitely an amazing time. So with that, I am not having a cupcake today, even though I ate 3. My buddy had 1. That means there's 8 left. So I'm going to give these things away. Make sure I don't fucking... I can't become Billy Fat Tits. I've worked too goddamn hard. You know what sucks? I had a personal trainer and I was killing it. But now I have to do physical therapy because my one of my shoulders, you can literally move it in the socket. You know, like an inch this way and an inch that way. So they got to fix that. They have to stabilize it. My ligaments are loose. They got stretched out or some shit. So I don't know how they tighten them up. But I got to do that over the next like month or so, and then I get back in the gym. So in the meantime, I've just been doing like just making sure I've been stretching or whatever. There's a couple of stretches I always wanted to be able to do. like those Bruce Lee ones where you're sitting down and your head just can go right down to your kneecaps, I always thought that was cool. I can do the one where you put your arm behind your back and then reach over with your other one and clasp hands. I can do that on both sides. So the shoulders are good. Well, Bill, maybe because that's the problem. Do you ever think that that's the problem? Do you ever think that you're not a fucking rehab person that rehabs shoulders? All right, that is the podcast, everybody. My prediction, I feel that the Florida Panthers are going to stay alive and the Miami Heat, unfortunately, are going to lose. And somebody's trying to tell me they think Jimmy Butler's hurt. I'm not trying to make excuses. But I really like that fucking organization. But I'm psyched, though, for the Denver Nuggets. They've never won an NBA title. Evidently, they won an ABA title like 50 years ago. So that's great. It is funny, though. Like, I thought their fan base would seem more like newbies. Like, oh, my God, I can't believe we're in the finals. But they act like a bunch of arrogant too. Everybody's just fucking holding the jersey and doing that fucking stupid Instagram. Like, I don't even know what it is. It's like everybody walks around acting like a heel in wrestling, I feel. Like, back in the day, like, the only people that behaved that way, I felt were like, like Ric Flair. Now, everybody's walking around with, like, Ric Flair vibes. Which is so funny because they're not even, at least Ric Flair was doing some shit. You're watching it. Like you're the Ric Flair of fans. Like I don't even understand it. That's because you're old, Bill. You're old and the world has passed you by and you just haven't accepted it yet. All right, I'll go with that. All right, so that's my prediction. The Florida Panthers win Game 5. Bring it back to Florida for an unbelievable Game 6. Which I think the Vegas Knights might win because I just think that they don't get involved into the head games. They keep their fucking cool. I don't know, whatever. But I think Miami Heat are going to lose Game 5. Gee, Bill, why don't you just sit here and add another fucking 9 minutes to the podcast saying the same thing over and over again? All right, that's the podcast. Go fuck yourselves, and I'll check in on you on Thursday.